Hey, I'm McDonald, welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the rider careers. We're headed to Spain for the first time this season, as the infamous McDonald rain dance has worked. Look at this, for 2 laps in qualifying. Patrick McDonald gets a downpour, but so does everyone else. Let's see what he can do. These are the conditions which made the other McDonald famous. We've already seen Patrick McDonald be very quick in these conditions as well. So let's see what he can do in qualifying. As he's coming off the back of a very good race in America with a very disappointing ending, though. You're looking to go the whole hog here in a race where, once again, tyre wear could be an issue. He really never got the bike where he wanted it in the circuit of the Americas, apart from the penultimate lap of the race. The only that way it wasn't going sideways, where you could feel the tyres weren't gripping. They held on for 1 lap in Kota. Let's see if we can do much more around this rider's favourite circuit, Arez. Lots of challenging corners, lots of second and third gear corners. Really is a test, not just the rider, but the bike, the chassis, and the tyres as well. Got a long race here, 7 laps. Let's see what can happen, as this is a pretty good qualifying effort so far. He's not running wide anywhere, McDonald, really, apart from into the hairpin. As all the bike struggled to get on the power there, though. Then nicely out the second right. Now into the final sector. There's all Bagnaia down, the Italian. Made his name with Mahindra Moto 3. A bit of a better bike in Moto 2. As you go across the line, it's going to be in the 44s, is it? 44.8. That's a good marker from McDonald. So he runs right into the first corner in his second lap, though. Can he make up that time, though, on the rest of this lap? It's going a bit slow into the right hand in that downhill. Very easy to lose the bike there, especially if you clip the curb on the inside. It's all McDonald, 0.6 of a second down already on this lap. It's in the dirt, gonna have the bin this lap. As his first lap was good enough though for McDonald, as he grabs by over 0.7, his first Moto2 part ahead of Alex Marquez, home hero. We've got Luti in third, Mordelli on the second row, the championship leader in fourth alongside one of his title rivals of the year, then Pastini in 7th. Then Bagnaia leads the third row in 7th ahead of Baldassarri and Nakagami. Shirota still qualifies in the top 10 but down in 10th, leading the 4th row ahead of Zabi and Danny Kent. They've got Marini on the 5th row ahead of Cortaro and Agata. Where's Cortese on the 7th row alongside Xavier Simon and Jorge Navarro, with Iker at the back. So can Patrick McDonald follow this qualifying form up in the race? Well, the rain may have stopped, but as you can see, it's still a very rat track, as there is Green still on pole for the first time in this class. And looking further back, it's Danny Kent, another former Moto3 champion. Looking further back, got Isaac Vinales, the cousin of Maverick Vinales, the Yamaha MotoGP rider. And looking further back, you got the likes of Pons in his home race, lots of Spaniards in this race, including Iker, as he rev up the engine, wait for the lights to appear and go out for this 7-lap race. These tyres are going to get working. The same for the wet tyres, a bit more durable than the dry. Shouldn't be as hard, the tyre near the end of the race. But for McDonald, that's a super start in the lead. Into the first corner, holds on. And now he should be able to just ride away for the next 7 laps. The pass form is correct, as he showed in Malaysia in Moto3 last season. And they're already a second ahead of Marquez already. Suter likes these wet tyres, so does McDonald. Like these conditions. The track will be drying up as he gets onto the curb too much there. The bike buckarooing. So Marquez gains back a couple of tenths in that sector. Nadal runs right into the hairpin as Piscini past Luti for third. Where is Morbidelli? Championship leaders drop back at the start. We've seen the Italian veteran making the moves on this opening lap. Looks like it was McDonald in the Circuit of the Americas. So it's the Italians' turn. I'm sure the home crowd not very happy though to see the Kenyan in front of their hero, Alex Marquez, the younger brother of Mark and a former Moto3 champion in his own right as well. A very tough battle for that championship with Jack Miller. And then Miller jumped immediately up to MotoGP. He's been with Honda ever since, rides with a Mark VDS at the moment. Well, for Alex Marquez, he's had a difficult couple of years in Moto2, but is now a championship contender with Mark VDS. You can see he's second, was 2 seconds behind the flying Kenyan at the top. Just skimming over the water with his bike. It's almost like dry conditions for him, or for everyone else that's still in the wet. Still struggling to get around in comparison. He's got Piscini in third, veteran of this class. He's been in MotoGP as well, but dropped back to Moto2 in recent years. Now starting to look good again. After being in 250cc's. And was the last rider in 250cc's to win on his debut in the class back in 2008. That's how long around Piscini has been at this level. Well, as I said, you're out in MotoGP as well in the middle. So it goes a bit wide into the right hander, McDonald. And see, it's really drying up in the double rights near the end of that. Track is really drying up, and look at 2.6 second lead. And into his favourite sector. The fast kinking right-handers, then probably the best passing spot on the circuit, or the most infamous passing spot. The hairpin left-hander, the Jorge Lorenzo corner at the end of the lap. On the Angel Noreto circuit, as it will be known as well. And after the late 12+1 world champion. Spinoda with a 45 for that, another fastest lap. Really is building his lead here. Of course, it's never safe till the checkered flag though, as we discovered in America. And how might he look back at that race at the end of the season and be like, dropped a few points there. We saw the other McDonald cost himself a Moto2 title thanks to that. Dropping a couple points early in the season, which really bit him in the arse in the end. How close it was. So let's hope for Patrick McDonald that's not that race. And then at the end of the season, as he gets better with this bike, his team gets better, as he gets better in this class, start challenging him for victories consistently. He's already doing it. As well as close in Argentina, was much closer in America. Look at this, he's got even better here in Spain, you know, helped by the conditions. His Suter works where McDonald works at his best. And see, very dry though through the double right already. And he leads by over 3.5 seconds ahead of Marquez. He's holding on to second ahead of Piscini. Doesn't look like the Italians being able to do much to challenge for second. Well, it's easy for McDonald at the front though. In that zone once again. Like it was for the penultimate lap in Cota, but it seems like this is for the whole race here in Spain. There's almost halfway through it already, onto the fourth lap. And there we go, 44.3. That time's May 4 as well, as the tyres are no longer cold, nicely heated up, so are the brakes. And of course the track's getting a bit drier. But then these tyres are wet, so maybe out of their best operating zone for the tyres, where everything else is in their best operating zone. And see they're getting worn as well. Run halfway through this race, they're around a quarter of the way worn, and its cycle is that close to a third. But at least they're in the green temperature rising, it's like. They're not hot. Gets down to first for the hairpin. And shorts this up to second. I think that's what McDonald's got to start doing to help get the bike into these corners short shift. And quickly up the gear. As here comes Oliveira, the consistent KTM rider. Miguel, challenger for the Moto3 crown against Danny Kent. Got that championship to go to the final round in Valencia, despite Kent holding a handsome lead at the halfway mark of the season. But the Brit struggled. But the Portuguese rider got much stronger. And McDonald leads by 5 seconds, however, Marcus. Oliveira started winning consistently. Kent started struggling to score points. But in the end, the Brit did enough to win the championship. So it gets into the water on the outside of the corner. Kind of cool the tyres down as well. As I noticed that the front tyres around halfway worn. This is another low 44 for McDonald. Not as fast as that. But after the final 3 laps, he's got to worry about tyre wear. Got to worry about these tyres perhaps being outside of conditions they're comfortable with. Of course, there's still lots of wet patches around the circuit to cool them in. But now with the track very much drying up, he's got to search for those a bit more. Getting in and out of corners on the straights as well. Just to help cool the tyres. And keep them at their best as well and keep the wear down. And into final couple of laps. Didn't think the tyre would be this bad, but Jerez is kind of infamous for its tyre wear. Very tough circuit on the tyres, on the machinery, on the riders. But a fun circuit as well with all these kind of medium speed corners. Really is a challenge. Only the best win around here. McDonald's definitely on the way to doing that, over 5 seconds ahead of Marquez and Oliveira in third. But we still haven't seen Morbidelli mentioned this race. Where is the championship leader? There's all a bit scree on our power at the final corner for McDonald. Head on to the penultimate lap of the race. You can see that time dropping by a second on that lap. 45.2. Leads for almost 6 seconds over Marquez. You can see there's still some cloud in the sky overhead. And it's like the sun has won the battle on race day. Definitely was around in qualifying. Like more qualifyings like that for McDonald. Gets confident up in qualifying. The conditions which are a bit more favourable to him in the Suter. He's using all the curb there through the right-hander. Too early turning in there and really had to kind of wait to get on the power forward his back straight. And mess up that one corner affects him all the way into the braking for this hairpin. Yes, that's how you hook up an apex. And he's still almost 6 seconds ahead of Marquez. Gap consistent the first half of that. But yeah, let's think about what this will do for McDonald in the championship as well. 4 races in. Looking like he's going to grab his first win at Moto2 level. So this is what happened in Moto3 level as well for McDonald, winning at Jerez. He must love this circuit, his adopted home circuit maybe. Might actually be the closest circuit to Africa in Kenya actually, now that I think about it. Unless I got my geography very wrong with Spain, which is highly likely as well. Going to the final corner and head on to the final lap of what has been a pretty boring race for McDonald, but he's consistent now in the low to mid 45s in this race after dipping into the mid 44s, low 44s for the middle part. That's not how you want to take the right hander, McDonald. Don't fall asleep yet. Let's look at the tyres. Only a third left. We saw him actually struggle within the second half of that in Kota. He's got to keep the concentration up. McDonald, it's still not over to that flag race. He's got an almost 6-second lead over Marquez behind. As he really is sliding the bike around on this final lap. Look how dry the circuit is, how dry this racing line is. Bone dry. And we're on wet tyres. Look at that Marquez. 5 seconds back now. He's gaining. Got to keep it together, McDonald. Don't find any nuts and crannies so the bike may go. Don't lose under braking. Be gentle with the brakes. Be gentle getting on the power as well. He's not used to this on a Moto2 machine. He's seen in the last few races. You saw in Qatar as well back then. But he's maintained the gap. So with 1 set to go, 3 corners to go. Patrick McDonald can start sinking off home. Start sinking with a checkered flag. The celebrations that will be going on after this race. He comes out the final corner. He survives, getting the power down. And he waves to the fans to the right hand side. As for the first time, he wins in Moto2. Fantastic ride once again from Patrick McDonald. But this time he gets his just rewards. He wins by 6 seconds ahead of Alex Marquez, who's over a second ahead of Oliveira. And Morbidelli recovers to 4th ahead of Passini by half a second. And Baldassarri in 7th. Bagnaia 7th. Luthi dropped to 8th. In the end, poor race for the Swiss rider, as he's 2.5 ahead of Nakagami. Zabi ran out the top 10 in his home race. Good race for the Tech 3 rider. Ahead of Danny Kent. Quartuaro Agata, the next best suitor in 13th. Then Surin and Remy Gardner grabbing a point on the Tech 3. Good race for Tech 3. Ahead of our teammate, of McDonald's teammate, in 16th by 37 thousandths of a second. Corsi just missing out in 17th. And Cortese in 23rd with Eco at the back in his home round. So in the championship, McDonald is up to 4th, 3 points ahead of Luthi and 7 ahead of Passini, 10 ahead of Baldassarri. Then we've got Bagnaia in 8th, Nakagami 9th. Sabi rounds out the top 10 ahead of Quartuaro, Agata, Marini, Kent in 14th, Corsi 15th, Surin 16th, Pons, Raffin and Remy Gardner up to 19th, the newest point scorer this season, with Brad Binder in 20th, the best. The non-point scorers got Ika at the back, and in front of McDonald in the top 3. We've got Marquez leading by 3 points ahead of Morbidelli, with the Oliveira still 8 points back in 3rd. As in the constructors standings, it's a 17-point lead for KTM, but look at Suter gaining on the Austrian manufacturer, 18 points behind now, and 35 ahead of Tech 3 with Speed Up in 5th with 5 points. So for the first time, McDonald celebrates in Parc Fermé. As behind, we got Marquez and Oliveira exchanging notes. But for McDonald, he'll be exchanging drinks, no doubt, with the clones tonight. As yes, the crazy eyes are back. He is very happy. His first win in Moto2. And perfect reputation earned as we see the gold won for the first time this season. Can he back it up in France round the Bugatti Le Mans circuits next time out? We'll find out then. So for watching, and I'll see you next time.